Hey everyone, today we're going to be jumping straight into the Warzone Season 2 patch notes. Okay, so obviously we got the roadmap there, introduction, Call of Duty Season 2 lands with new content, quality of life improvements across the board, prepare for some heavy weaponry and all of the following. So I'm just going to quickly go through these new gameplay features. Nebula V Bombs create new offensive tactics, while portable decontamination stations offer temporary refuge. AI threats now occupy Caldera, offering opportunities for valuable loot. Alternatively, take the risk to the skies, redeploy balloons. So very like Apex there, but hey, I'm all for it. The new vehicle, we got the bomber plane, new locations, chemical factory. The new Caldera mode is Caldera Clash at launch. And then we got some quality of life updates. New season, so new battle pass. So obviously we got another 100 tiers, 2 hard-hitting free functional weapons. I'm assuming that'll be level 15 and 30. Yeti operator, which is unlocked at level 100. Legendary skins and a total of 1,300 total COD points if you purchase the battle pass, and I think 300 free. This is the new event. Search and deploy. The source of Nebula V production has been identified. Operators may infiltrate at their own risk. The event is split into several phases and roll out over the coming weeks. With launch, players can expect to see Caldera Clash, limited time mode, explorable POIs in the chemical factory, enemy AI threats defending the new POIs, new gameplay elements including portable decontamination station and Nebula V rounds, and much more to come. So yeah, new POI, we got some AI, that's going to be really interesting. You could be fighting the AI and you could get third party by some other players, but we'll just have to see how it plays out. So we got Caldera Clash. So it's another kind of big TDM, I think it is. Don't really play it too much, to be honest. Concentrating more on the Warzone. 2 new events, double point zones, bonus point crates, power zones. For an event that can occur instead of the final C domination point. Kills are worth double. 100% chance the players drop power-ups when they die. Initial spawn of cash and other items at the start of the event. Point crates, 6-point crates will drop across the center of the arena. Okay, so Iron Trials is coming to Rebirth. Fan favorite mode, Iron Trials makes a glorious return, this time to Rebirth Island. Pretty cool, have to see how it plays. In the meantime, here's a sneak peek at the calling card. Nice little calling card there if you obviously get the win. Battle Royale adjustments. Public events will be in rotation for the selection of supply droppers, fire sale, jailbreak. No public events will activate during the infill sequence. The contracts that will be in rotation in the matches are Recon, Bounty, Most Wanted, Scavenger, and Supply Run. Oh, that's a bit of a shame. They've gotten rid of obviously the top secrets, but the big game bounty. I was a big fan of that because you got an advanced when you killed that one person, but it also showed you who your biggest threat is, well, one of the bigger threats. Loot, economy, rebalance, ground weapons update, that's pretty standard. Vanguard Royale adjustments, loadout drops. The first loadout drop event from the start of the second circle to when the first circle begins to close in the Vanguard Royale only. No stun grenades, thermites allowed. Public events, the duration of the fire sale has been reduced again. In rotation, fire sale, jailbreak, resurgence, restock, cash drops, heavy weapon drops. Loot, dead silence has been removed. This is huge for... I like Vanguard, but this gives me even more incentive to play it. Stun grenades have been removed also. Thermites added, UAVs added to ground loot. Economy rebalance, ground weapons rebalance. UAV changes. UAVs removed from the buy station. Oh. UAVs are available as contract rewards. Interesting. That could change it up a little bit. So this is obviously the new POI. They're talking about Chemical Factory. The newly named Chemical Factory has a similar layout to the location it's replaced, but with several notable differences, including enemy soldiers who protect the facility and trap that can be sprung in central building. There are several more interior spaces to explore and the main factory floor to watchtowers with impressive sight lines over the facility and surroundings. The river runs green with Nebula V's byproduct, but it's completely harmless. Interesting. So obviously that's the new POI with the AIs. Could be pretty cool. I'd imagine there'd be some pretty decent loot there. We'll just have to wait and see. 7 research laboratories are distributed around Caldera and visible via hand-drawn yellow circles on the TAC map. These locations hold high-value loadout items, including gas mask and Nebula V ammo. So obviously when you open up your TAC map, before, there'll be POIs outlined in the yellow circle. General, an increase has been applied to weapon XP earn rates. Okay, that's not too bad. Vanguard weapons can be saved as a custom mod. Thank you. The 5 default loadouts have been updated. That's just if you've got a brand new account. The amount of cash players gathered throughout has decreased overall. Interesting. Gameplay new features, redeploy to Bloom. These enable players to reposition themselves tactically to traverse to new areas. These can be destroyed or repaired for a minor fee. Side note, we recommend steering clear if you're flying nearby. So obviously, this is what I was saying. This is pretty similar to the Apex. It is blatantly copying, but I'm all for it because you can get severely caught on like the side of peak. NPC defensive threats. These new AI units can be found in various locations, including the guard towers that surround the new chemical factory and underground labs. So obviously, it means like the AI is going to be shooting back. You know, they're going to be defensive, like whatever they're trying to hide. Portable decontamination station. These stations create a bubble of breathable air in the gas that lasts 13 seconds. These can be mounted for a few gameplay strategies, but will reveal your map position, so use wisely. Okay, so 13 seconds, it's not a huge amount, but you know, it's not like you'll be able to just sit way back in the gas and then just outrun it. We all know that it plays differently from Apex, so once again, we'll just have to see how it plays. Does show you up on the map though, so I don't know if it's going to be too overpowered. Nebula V rounds. This ammunition gives players the ability to kill enemies and leave behind small gas cloud that can be used to any weapon for multiple interesting combinations. So unlike stopping power, I don't think this will do any extra damage. Once you down that person and your teammate tries to res you, they're going to have to put their gas mask on, or they're going to be inhaling gas while doing the res. So it's more or less just a pain to deal with, really. Armored convoys. Patrolling Caldera, these armored transport trucks, a new mobile loot cache opportunity and shown on the TAC map when active. This is pretty cool. So obviously the armored trucks have a ton more health and it will require some effort to take down, but obviously giving you that reward. Obviously everyone's trying to get it. And if you are on your own, people are going to hear you trying to get this. Nebula V Bombs, one of the rarest items in Warzone. This is a locked briefcase full of deadly gas with an explosive charge. This bomb will detonate after a fixed countdown and cannot be disarmed or destroyed. Its initial explosion deals a high amount of damage and a small radius of the gas spreads outwards. Where it will hurt the operator without a gas mask, the gas lingers for 2 minutes before ultimately dispersing or feeding into the oncoming circle collapse. If you've got this and you deploy it on someone that's possibly got the normal gas behind them, this is going to be very hard to overcome. Maybe that's where that trophy system, you know, that oxygen bubble, it could come in handy, but that's only lasts for 13 seconds, whereas this lasts for 2 minutes. New vehicle, bomber planes take to the skies in this new ultimate armored squad vehicle. So obviously, I think you've got turrets on that and then the bombs. It's not going to have the mobility of the planes, but I'd assume it'd have a fair bit more health as well. General weapons that spawn across Caldera have been adjusted for the following: ground loot, supply box, contract rewards. Dead Silence is now classified as legendary orange loot. So yep, that's pretty good. Updates to several modes: Battle Royale, Vanguard Royale, Plunder, Vanguard Plunder. That rebalances the amount of ground loot and caches that spawn, as well as decreasing the plunder cache piles across the modes. Final Circle in Battle Royale modes is now much less likely to end on Caldera's peak. Perfect. Gameplay adjustments. Aim assist while stunned on the controller. Aim assist will now scale appropriately and will not cause unintended increase of aim assist and strength. Very good. We all knew how overpowered this was for controller players. If you're a controller player, you might be a little bit annoyed, but it did need to be balanced. Armor plates will now prioritize refilling one full plate of armor before partially damaged plates. So obviously, since the start, we've wanted this change, but instead, if you've got a tiny bit of health and you put a whole armor plate into it, it'll do a fraction, whereas now it'll give you that 1 bar, and then if you have an extra plate, then it'll do that fraction. So just the quality of life improvement there. Ascenders, so this is your normal zip lines. Players can now exit the ascender with the jump button. Added a prompt to exit the ascender while ascending. So I think you can only do it at the top, and now you can do it wherever. Gas mask will no longer be auto-equipped when aiming down sights. Whilst the gas will deplete in ADS, the animation will no longer interrupt and wait for the player to go back to hip fire before equipping. The players will take damage as normal while they're in ADS without their gas mask equipped. So just the quality of life update there with the gas mask animation. They did address this in Verdansk, but it still wasn't any better. Gasoline canister will no longer detonate when hit by a stun grenade. Can be now thrown through glass windows. Players are less likely to accidentally pick them up. That was annoying. I've died so many times by accidentally picking this up. Kill damage zone is reduced with the additional fall-off damage. Perfect. I've died where it's been underneath, up on top of peak. I've been up on top. It's been underneath. I've thrown a gas grenade in and it's gotten me from the top. Just way too overpowered. Gulag. Footsteps of spectators are less audible. Further improvements will be made here into the season. Perfect. So obviously when you're in the Gulag, you could hear people running around behind you and it was nothing worse. You thought that was the enemy. You couldn't get your left and rights like down, and then all of a sudden the enemy comes out where you at least expect it and you're dead. Mantling and traversal. Increased mantle height for improved vertical navigation and traversal. Various map improvements to aid traversal and player leading. Various improvements to visuals and texture streaming when traversing on consoles. So pretty much there's some windows that you can't get into. We just couldn't jump high enough, or you could. It just wouldn't let you mantle. So they've just addressed that. And obviously traversal across the map. They're just making that a little bit easier. And texture streaming, that's just the textures on everything. Sometimes it'll just turn into like a Play-Doh. They're just trying to improve that a little bit. Parachutes are now the same speed going forwards as it is going sideways. So obviously sideways was everyone's go-to if you wanted to get that longer distance. That'd be interesting. Can now be pulled at a lower vertical height. Can now be pulled sooner after exiting the infill plane. Can now be cut when closer to the ground. Very interesting. We'll have to see how that plays and see how it feels. Vehicle adjustments. Reduced or in some instances removed collisions on various world assets to improve ground vehicle traversal. So this is when you're just driving over, it'll be a tiny like tree or a rock and your car would just get completely hung up and you couldn't do anything about it. Fighter plane health has been slightly reduced. Weapon damage has been reduced. Fighter planes are no longer able to auto-target skydiving players. Collision has been adjusted to alleviate instant death in some circumstances. Anti-aircraft gun flak damage range increased. All heat is cleared once the overheat has cooled down. Heat dissipation rate has increased. So AA guns have received a buff. Squad transport improved handling, speed, and off-road performance. Perfect. Utility truck improved speed, handling, and able to climb steeper inclines. I'm all for it. Updates to the play tab have made it possible for Rebirth Resurgent Game Mode to now use the squad size drop-down box menu for improved convenience. The prompt for dropping a single armor plate has now says drop single instead of drop stack. The pause screen now displays any running events. This can be clicked through to display a summary of the event. The moving tram in the capital is now shown on the TAC map for situational awareness. So I only just found this the other day. There's a little tram on that POI, and it can move similar to the train in Verdansk. Show controls and fading behavior has now been added to the HUD on all Warzone vehicles. You can now disable this in options menu. This option is located in interface HUD. Always show vehicle controls. Fair enough. Added pitch up, pitch down keybinds for the airplane. In-match splash screens messages have been disabled for spectators. I'm not going to go through this, but there's just a ton of bug fixes, mainly I think for the console texture streaming, crashes on all platforms, voice chat, so when PC players trying to talk to console players and vice versa, there was problems, invisible operator skins. There's just a ton here. We got the new KG M40 assault rifle, workhorse assault rifle, naturally steady and accurate. Whitley light machine gun, heavy long range machine gun, cumbersome but consistent. So obviously means it's slow, but it's going to be hard hitting. Couple of new unlock challenges. Weapon adjustments. So the assault rifle alpha, that's the STG ADS speed decrease, that's been nerfed. C58 has been nerfed. The Volk has been nerfed, ADS speed decrease. Handgun Clauser has bullet velocity increase. Machine pistol mid damage increase. Top break bullet velocity increase, max damage increase, mid damage increase, and minimum damage increase. Light machine gun DP27 lower torso multiplier decrease, that's been nerfed. Light machine gun Charlie, that's the Bren left and right upper arms decrease, lower torso damage decrease, so that's received a nerf. M1 Garand recoil behavior adjusted, so that's just adjusted. Whether it's better or worse, I'm not too sure. 3-line rifle ADS speed increased to 5.17 down from. See that. It's either been increased or decreased. They've mucked them notes up, but ADS movement increased, gun bob decrease, movement speed increase. So it's pretty much received a buff. Gorenko anti-tank rifle ADS speed increase. That's a buff. Kar 98K ADS speed decrease down from 0.29. Wow, that's a big nerf for the Kar 98 Vanguard. Type 99 ADS speed increased to 0.48 up from 0.58. Gun bob decreased. So this has been buffed. Submachine gun Charlie. So the MP40, we knew this was going to happen. Max damage decrease and mid damage decrease. So that's received a nerf. Type 100 gun kick adjusted. I would assume that's a buff, but we'll just have to see. Well gun, maximum damage range decrease, mid damage range decrease. Attachments, cleared up pro, con, and stat bar inconsistencies for most Vanguard attachments, so hopefully they'll be a little bit more accurate now. Ammunition, incendiary rounds, base burn damage decreased to 6, down from 9. No longer decreases damage range. Okay. Now decreases damage by 10%, 3% for sniper rifles. So slight adjustment, but I'd say more of a nerf because of the base burn damage decrease. Bullet velocity increased by 10%, down from 30. I don't really know what they mean by that. Bullet velocity increased by 10%, down from 30. I don't know if that's meant to be increased by 10%, up from 30%, or it's meant to be decreased by 10%, down from 30%. Something tells me that's a nerf. They've just mucked this up. And all these barrels here, I wouldn't say there's too many nerfs, but a lot of it has just been adjusted. AS44 attachments, once again, decrease, increase bullet velocities. That's been adjusted. Assault rifle alpha, it's the STG. Initial recoil control increases bullet velocity, now decreases ADS speed. So adjusted again, 760 round, decrease, increase bullet velocity. Assault rifle Bravo, decrease and increase. So just more adjustments for all the weapon attachments. Assault rifle Charlie, CGC, ADS movement speed decreased, now decrease, now increases bullet velocity. So it seems to be the stats are going down, but the bullet velocity is going up on a lot of these attachments. ADS movement speed decreased, now increases bullet velocity by 45%. So like I said, same pattern here. Same for the assault rifle Hotel, Cooper Carbine, recoil control decreased. Oh, so you're going to have a lot more recoil control on the Gracie Rapid barrel. DP27s had some attachment changes. Einhorn revolving shotgun, damage range decrease. Okay, so that just seems to some of its attachments have just been nerfed. GV43 and the Caldera Gorenko anti-tank rifle attachment changes. Vanguard Kar 98 changes. Light machine gun Charlie, that is the Bren. Oak and Shield model, sustained recoil decreased by 25%, up from 30. Queen's Crown now decreases ADS speed by 6%, now increases bullet velocity. So yeah, more adjustments. M1 Garand, MG42, Owen Gun, PPSH, Rat Sten, Submachine Gun Charlie, so that's the MP40, SVT40. I am going through this pretty quickly, but just pause it if you want to see the attachments really broken down, because there's a lot of attachment changes here. Top brake handgun, Type 100 SMG, Type 99, the well gun, some magazine changes for the 3-line rifle, assault rifle Alpha, Cooper Carbine, DP27, Einhorn revolving, M1 Garand, machine pistol, MG42, the Rat SVT, submachine gun Charlie, Type 100, Type 99, the Volk again, well gun, muzzles, Mercury silencer, MX silencer, have all been adjusted. Top brake, flash hider, optics, Kar 98 medium telescopic sight. ADS speed decreased by 7%, up from 41. Aiming stability increased, gun bob decreased. Type 99, and all these optics have had adjustments to their appearance and or behavior. Potentially includes changes to ADS speed, ADS position, closeness of optic, and magnification level. Interesting. Bunch of all the grips, grooved grip, polymer grip, Type 99, fabric grip, the Volk fabric grip, stocks, 3-line rifle, MG42, Owen gun, Gawain, and remove stock, Type 99 remove stock, M1941 underbarrel, assault rifle Alpha, Carver foregrip, Type 99 Mark V skeletal. We've got some new operators and the download sizes for PlayStation 5, 14GB, PlayStation 4, 14GB, Xbox One X and Series S is 13.7, same as the Xbox One. PC is 11.5 for Warzone only and 15.5 for Warzone and Modern Warfare. There it is, guys. I know that was a lot to take in. Tried to do it as quick as I can. Once again, if you did miss something because I kind of just jotted through it, go back, just pause it. You're more than welcome to screenshot it. And yeah, I hope you enjoy Season 2. Happy grinding. Peace.